Alright, what's up guys? It's Weston Angler. Somebody asked me to do a how-to on the Gator-Tail, changing the oil, transmission oil, and the gear lube. You'll need a oil filler here. I got this at an auto parts store. Non-detergent 30, coastal. You want non-detergent 30 weight in there, and 5W30 is what I use. You can use different types of oil, but that's just what I use down here. The oil wrench or the oil fill is right here on this side of the motor, or the drain plug, excuse me. You can also access it on the right hand side, which is what I like to do because it's away from all the wires. It takes a 5/8 inch socket. You'll need a 5/8 inch socket to remove that oil drain plug. Let the oil drain out. And then right here you're going to need 9/16 inch wrench socket just to remove the two bolts to access to pull the cover off. I'll go ahead and take the cover off and take the drain plug, and I'll continue. You need to start draining your oil. Of course, you can always remove the oil filter with the oil filter wrench. It's always a good thing to do, is replacing it. It's pretty cheap. Part number right here, 51348 Wicks filter. There's also several others you can get, but I'll go ahead and start there and pull the oil filter off and continue. Alright, so this is the bottom of just any old water bottle. I got plenty of them laying around here in the storage unit. You know, just take your pick, and this is, I think, a little water bottle, but it'll just slide right up underneath there and catch the oil as it's draining out, just like that. So you'll have to maybe empty it once or something, but all you have to do is just rotate this back up, stops the flow of oil, and empty it again. Just continue on with the draining process. I'll go ahead and remove the screws and get the draining going. Okay, so both the screws are removed, and I got my just a paper towel with the little modified catcher here. I'm just going to put the towel in there just so it kind of catches anything that might drip down on this brake bracket, which is a bad idea. And it'll slowly, it's tough with holding the camera, but you slowly rotate this in and it should start draining here. It's cold out, so it's going to slowly drain here. And we'll just let it drain. It's a good time now. It's oil's pretty much done dripping out of here. I'll grab a towel and go ahead and put the drain plug back in. Just hand tighten it up and shore it up with the wrench, and you're pretty much done with the 5/8 after that. Alright, now you can go ahead and probably get the oil filter done real quick while the top's still draining. Mine's looking pretty thick. Should have probably changed it earlier. We'll take some a little bit of oil, and of course always do this. Put it on the top here. Still draining nicely. There's oil filter right here going on. Spin it on, get it real good and tight by your hands. Don't use a wrench on it, you can damage it. Just get it real good hand tight. You can probably use a couple hands. I'll do that here in a second. Okay, I put about good 5 or 6 squirts into that hole. Hope force out some of this thicker liquid, but shouldn't have this much trouble unless it's, you know, freezing cold outside or pretty dark and thick from running it. Still draining pretty good, as you can see. I got the drain plug tight, oil filter tight, so the oil change is pretty much done, besides adding new oil in right here, which is roughly like, what, 1.5 quarts if I'm not mistaken. Once that's done, you're pretty much good to go. Check the oil right here with the oil fill cap, of course. Now changing the lower unit gear oil, or the gear lube I should say, you'll have to remove this set screw right here. Now nothing's going to start coming out because it's so thick. And you'll have your grease gun fitting, grease gun right here. You're literally going to pump the entire brand new tube all the way through here till all this old junk stops coming out. You'll see it change colors. I usually do it for about a good 10 to 20 pumps after it starts changing colors, just so I know it's good fresh stuff in there. And also look for water. That could be sign for seal damage or anything up around in here. You have 2 more grease points. Where'd they go? You got one up underneath here, which is right underneath the tilt and trim slide plate here. And then you got another one down here on the bottom. So those are your 2 grease fittings on the engine itself, or 3 I should say, with the gear lube. Alright, now that the oil is pretty much drained, just remove this. So first I'll go ahead and rotate this up so we don't have any more oil draining. Remove my little catch pan here. Sorry, I'm going to walk it over here to my oil catch thing. Alright. Now we're going to set this to a 10 o'clock position. This is going to be down at 4 o'clock roughly. And ideally, you don't want to be doing this with the camera in your hand, but I'm going to start squirting. You can use a marinade needle, I mean anything that'll hold fluid. Get it reprimed. More oil in there. I'm going to start squirting in. And I'm going to put the camera down so I can watch this, but you're going to keep squirting until you start seeing oil start coming out of this hole back over here. So I can watch it, I'm going to put the camera down, but y'all know what to do.